everyone, my name is Amélie Santerre and I am a second year student here in Cégep of Jonquière in production and post-production. Weed. You heard me right. That's how I'm grabbing your attention. Most of you who reacted to this statement probably think that weed is a taboo topic. For a big period of time, this drug has been illegal here in Canada. The only way to be able to get it was by the black market, which is an illegal organization. Due to this persistent illegality here in Canada, the average population is not well informed about this subject and doesn't know all of the effects of this drug. On October 17, 2018, the recreational use of cannabis has been legal here in Canada. Since it's been legal here in Canada to consume cannabis for anyone who is above the legal age, which is 18, it brought a lot of questions to most of the population. We realized that Canadians are not as informed as they should be to handle this new situation. Some people agree with the legalization of cannabis, even though they are not aware of all of the negative consequences that it might have on the consumer's health. Most people know that it is bad to consume cannabis, but they don't know why it is bad and what it actually does. It is the same for the opposite situation. Some people completely disagree with the legalization of cannabis, but they don't know the positive consequences that it might have. So either way, the population needs information. They need to know that when they agree to consume cannabis, they agree with the side effects and the possible consequences that it might have in their future. They also need to know that the legalization of cannabis will help the economy by receiving the money that before was given to the black market. The consumers will also know exactly what is in their product, so it is a lot safer for them. All this information that is not well known by most of the Canadians is extremely important for them to be able to make the right decisions and make their own opinion. This is why it is crucial that a documentary be made to inform all of the population. One of the main advantages of a documentary is that it is very appealing. In fact, it has been proven that most of the people who see an article online will only read the title. On the other hand, when someone actually wants to watch a documentary, they are more likely to watch the entire documentary and really understand its content. Since it is very visual, it interests a lot of people. It takes a lot less concentration to watch a documentary than to read an article. The purpose of a documentary is to inform the population and to pass a message, which is exactly what we want to do. Our brain will remember the images seen a lot easier than the facts written black on white in an article. A documentary is also very convincing since the information presented is valid and supported by professionals. It is also more convincing seeing somebody talking with their own voices and emotions instead of only reading by our own. The message is more direct. The people who are watching the documentary will really understand what the professionals are saying and they are more likely to remember it in their future. The last reason why we decided to produce a documentary is because it is accessible to a very large public. Most of the people around the country would be able to watch our documentary as it will include younger and older people. Movies and documentaries are a big part of our generation. Cinema often try and show different sides of our reality to try and slowly change our world. This is why a documentary is the best way to talk about the legalization of cannabis. Everyone will be able to watch our documentary and so everyone will be informed. Our goal, which is to talk about the legalization of cannabis and to inform the population, will be completed with the production of our documentary. The concept of our documentary is to find many professionals to talk about the different subjects that are related to our topic. Those professionals will explain the positive and the negative sides of the legalization of the cannabis as well as the consumption. We really want to show the reality. There will also be a lot of people who are concerned by the subject in many different ways, such as people who consume cannabis frequently or people who used to consume it. Since our concept is majorly based on the explanation of our experts, we found a few of our professionals to show the impact that they could have. The first one is called David Gray. He is a professor at the University of Ottawa here in Canada. He is an expert in the Canadian economy. His main interests are all around the market, which is exactly what we need to be able to talk about the whole market around cannabis. David Gray will be able to explain the effects of the economy a few months or a few years after the legalization of cannabis. The next expert is called Amy Porat, and she is a scientific in the field of health. Her main interest is related to the effects of cannabis on the consumer as well as the whole concept of addiction. She is working at the Canadian Centre on Substance Use and Addiction. Her expertise will be useful to talk about all of the difference of this drug so that every consumer really understands them. It will show the effects that it has on the brain depending on the rate of THC and CBD. She will really explain in depth those two substances to illustrate the reality of cannabis. The last expert is called Maude Saint-Onge. She is a doctor and the director of the Quebec Poison Control. Her knowledge on the drug and its effect will help everyone who is watching the documentary to really portray the whole consumption of cannabis. She will be able to tell the information that the population really needs to hear. Those are only a few of the professionals that would be included in the documentary, but we are really able to tell how they would affect the population. They would be talking about their profession to tell every aspect of their subject. It will give credibility to our documentary. To be able to produce our documentary, we would only need a small team. It would take a few months to write the whole script, to find all of the professionals that we need and all of the people to produce our documentary. It would then take a few weeks to actually film our documentary and to film the professionals talking to us, as well as the different shots that show what they are explaining to us. Then the work of post-production would take a few months to put everything together, to add the music and the text. So after a few months and a maximum of a year, we would have a beautiful documentary to show everyone. To conclude, the production of this documentary is crucial so that the population has all of the right information. A documentary is the best solution to reach our goal since it is going to be very appealing, very convincing, and it will be accessible to a large public. Yes, cannabis used to be a very taboo topic, but it is time that we talk about it so that everyone can have their own opinion based on reliable facts.